Look at the clock. It is 3 in the morning, and the silence of the room is not a sanctuary, it is a battlefield. You are lying there, a fallen titan in a room filled with the scent of a memory that should have decomposed years ago. 5 years have passed. 1,825 rotations of this planet. Yet inside your skull, the clock stopped the moment they walked out the door. You tell yourself this is the great devotion. You tell yourself you are a romantic martyr, a guardian of a sacred flame. But look through the observer's lens and see the brutal truth. You are not guarding a flame. You are worshipping a tomb. What you call eternal loyalty is actually a catastrophic system failure in the electrical architecture of your brain. You are a biological machine running a corrupted script, a desolate garrison defending a border that the enemy abandoned half a decade ago. This is not a story of love. This is the forensics of a neural prison. Why does your mind refuse to execute the delete command? Because you have mistaken a biological glitch for a soul-deep destiny. To understand why you are still a prisoner, we must perform an autopsy on your obsession. In the high-stakes geopolitics of the human psyche, your mind has been annexed by the vanished sovereign. You perform the ritual of digital necromancy every night, scrolling through their social media feeds, searching for a sign of decay or a hint of remembrance. Each like, each photo, is a tactical strike against your sanity. You are not checking in. You are a scavenger, searching for scraps of dopamine in a wasteland. This is the architecture of limerence, a pathological state where a human being is transformed into a chemical drug. You have become an addict in a neural necropolis, a ghost haunting your own life. Your brain has developed a intermittent reinforcement loop, a psychological trap more dangerous than any physical cage. You are like the subject in a dark experiment, pressing a lever that no longer delivers a reward, yet you press it with more ferocity because the uncertainty has created a hunger that consumes your very identity. You are nursing a phantom signal, believing that if you just wait long enough, the signal will turn back into a person. It won't. The sovereign is gone. Only the ghost remains, and the ghost is a parasite eating your future. Let us peer through the first lens, the machinery of destiny. Your brain is a supercomputer designed for survival, not for happiness. It has categorized the vanished sovereign not as a person, but as a primary survival resource. When they left, your system didn't just experience sadness, it experienced a total power failure. The ventral tegmental area, the VTA, the engine room of your desires, is screaming for a fix. Science has shown us the raw data. When you look at a photograph of the one who broke you, your brain lighting up exactly like the brain of a cocaine addict in full withdrawal. You are experiencing a neurochemical coup d'etat. Your prefrontal cortex, the wise general, has been overthrown by the amygdala, the chaotic architect of fear. You are not thinking about them. Your brain is literally starving for the oxytocin flood that they once provided. This is the Zeigarnik effect in its most lethal form, the unclosed cognitive ring. Because the relationship ended without a final explanation, your mind keeps the neural pathways open, burning energy, waiting for a conclusion that will never come. You are a machine, stuck in a processing loop, wasting your finite life force on a task that has no solution. Now, look through the second lens, the tectonic shifts of the subconscious. Why do you choose this pain? Why is the familiar cage of a broken heart more comfortable than the infinite sky of freedom? Because for the fallen titan, the pain is the only thing that proves the glory was real. You are suffering from the martyr's delusion, a social infection that romanticizes the one who suffers the longest. You have been trained by the cinematic propaganda of a billion songs to believe that the depth of your agony is the measure of your love. It is a lie. Your agony is not a measure of love. It is a measure of your anxious attachment, a wound inflicted in the nurseries of your childhood. You are not mourning a partner. You are trying to heal a foundational fracture in your soul. You are seeking validation from a source that is dry, hoping that if you can just win them back, you will finally be enough. But in the cold landscape of the psyche, no external entity can fill the abyss. Your loyalty is a biological anchor, keeping you submerged in the depths of a past that has already turned to stone. The tectonic plates of your life have moved, but you are still trying to stand on ground that has fallen into the sea. We must address the third lens, the dark geopolitics of the ghost. How does the ghost maintain its power over the desolate garrison? It uses the weapon of breadcrumbing, the tactical release of minimal hope, a random text, a vague comment, a lingering gaze from across a crowded room. These are not acts of kindness, they are reinforcements of the siege. This is the Skinner box of the soul. B.F. Skinner, the cold master of behaviorism, proved that intermittent rewards are the most addictive forces in the universe. If the vanished sovereign were cruel to you 100% of the time, you would have declared independence years ago. But because they were kind, 5% of the time, your brain is locked in a gambler's ruin. You are betting your entire life on the 5%. Ignoring the 95% of silence and neglect, you are participating in your own emotional colonization, allowing a phantom to tax your happiness and extract your peace. You are the one providing the batteries for the ghost. The moment you stop feeding the memory, the ghost vanishes. But you won't stop, because the silence of the present is more terrifying to you than the screaming of the past. The time for the surgical verdict has arrived. To break the cycle, you must adopt the iron logic of the Stoic architect. You must perform neural overwriting. You cannot simply stop thinking about the ghost. You must drown out the signal with the roar of a new engine. You must treat the memory as a biohazard, a contaminated site that must be quarantined. This is the forensics of letting go. It requires the brutal acceptance of the second death. The first death occurred when they left. The second death occurs when you stop mourning. You are afraid of the second death because it feels like a betrayal of the love you once held. But the observer tells you this: true loyalty is not to the dead, it is to the living, and you are currently among the dead. You must burn the artifacts, you must delete the archives. This is not moving on, that is a weak term. This is strategic withdrawal. You are pulling your troops out of a city that has already been nuked. You must realize that the ending is not something they give to you. It is a border you draw yourself. The lack of closure is your closure. The silence is the answer. The final epiphany is this: the person who never stops loving is not the strongest person in the world. They are the most deceived. They are carrying an infected treasure, a wound they have dressed in gold and called a sacred bond. You have been a spectator in the theater of your own suffering for too long. The engine of your destiny is stalling because you have filled the tank with the tears of a 5-year-old tragedy. Look at the horizon. The sun is rising on a world that does not know their name. The universe does not care about your eternal devotion. It only cares about your current expansion. You are a gasping engine of destiny, and it is time to shift gears. If you are reading this transmission from inside your neural cell, if you are a citizen of the neural necropolis, leave a signal in the comments below. Acknowledge that you are the one holding the key to the cage. Tell the other prisoners that the gates are made of nothing but your own fear. The surgery is complete. The ghost has been dissected. The architect is now back in control of the machine. Wait, don't close the transmission yet. There is one final data point you need to internalize. The stars have been dead for millions of years, yet we still navigate by their light. You have been navigating your life by the light of a dead star. It is time to find a new sun. You are not a ghost. You are the observer of the ghosts. You are the master of the bioluminescence of the abyss. You can glow in the dark, but only if you stop looking for the light in someone else's eyes. Go out into the grey light of the morning. Feel the cold air on your skin. That is reality. Everything else, the memories, the longing, The phantom pain is just corrupted code. The era of the fallen titan is over. The era of the sovereign self has begun. Transmission terminated. Now, rebuild the empire.